Welcome back. Another episode of College Coaches Corner here with LGR. We're finally jumped into the Division II level, on to another level. We got super excited about this one. We got Coach Brown here with us from Texas A&M Commerce. First off, Coach, man, congratulations on an amazing year. You guys went 28-3. Had a bid to the NCAA Division II tournament for the second straight year. Although they got cut short, man, you guys had a great season. And even on top of that, you were named Women's Basketball World Exposure, named you Division II Assistant Coach of the Year. Congratulations, Coach. We're happy to have you, man. How you doing during this coronavirus?
Man, blessed, man. Appreciate on all this stuff, but yeah, doing good. Having time to spend with the family. You know, we be on the road so much and being grinded into the season. You know, there's some of the time that you lose. So now I'm getting that time back. So it's great to see my kids running around and see the different personalities jumping out. And then you can't go nowhere, so you got to stay and you see it. But other than that, it's great, man. And especially spending time with the wife. You know, you don't say that you're going to get in trouble, so spending time with the wife.
Hey, I got you. I'm I highlight that. I'm going to roll that on repeat a couple times for you. Man, you want to talk about y'all season? Again, y'all had back-to-back. First time, I believe, in program history, making to the NCAA Division II tournament. A lot of people don't realize how big of an accomplishment that is. You know, it's Division II tournaments, one of the toughest tournaments in the NCAA to win, not necessarily even just to get into, you know. So you want to kind of talk about y'all season and the way y'all's program's really on the rise?
Man, the season was great, man. We got a lot of great pieces in our family. So we call our team a family. That's from everywhere in our program, from the coaches to the players to the managers to everybody in the gym, administration, everything, man. We're a big family here at A&M Commerce, man. But the season was great. Players was playing hard. They was all locked in. That's one of the biggest things. It's tough to do when you're on this level, to get everybody to be locked in. So all our young ladies were locked in. The coaches were everybody was locked in. So when you have that piece, the sky's the limit. So it's no limit. There's no limit. So we was rolling, man. It was blessed. It was blessed to be there. You know?
People make the place, man. Y'all got some great people over there for sure.
Yeah.
Question that I like to drop on everybody. I believe you were a head coach in high school before you got
in the boot in Louisiana.
Louisiana for sure, man. Let's get back to those days. Louisiana, when you're a high school coach, man. Who do you think was the first coach to out-coach you?
First coach to out-coach me in Louisiana, probably, man, we went down to man, that's a great question. It was we went down to a tournament in New Iberia, and I'm sorry, coach, I don't know what's his name, but I forget the team because it was a tournament, and he came in there as young as a coach, but he came in there and he was on top of everything. He was one of the ones and first getting out, and that was probably my first head coaching job. And, you know, coming in as a head coach and you're young, you think you know something, y'all win a couple games, y'all players are playing. And matter of fact, I was a head coach at Vermilion Catholic High School in Abbeville, Louisiana. So we went out there, man, and thinking I know everything, and he came out there, he had everything, every answer to what we did, and what it did was make me really dive into the books and really study and you take it more serious than young coaches do at the time, you know, when you're feeling yourself. So definitely, that was a while back, though, man. That was a long time. That's a great question. Wow, you put me on blast right off the gate.
Man, no, I got that.
Great question, though.
From the podcast, the Knuckleheads. I don't know if you ever watched that, but they always ask who's the first guy to bust you in the NBA. So that's what I try to bring on our little interviews. Just try to ask everybody who's the first coach to out-coach.
But you know what? He was a older coach, though. He was an older coach, probably mid-40s.
Yep.
Knew what he was doing, clean. Everything. He came out there and he had them guys to a T. I coached high school boys at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure.
That kind of leads us into the next spot, man. So you got Louisiana ties. That's why I'm excited to get you on, especially with the Division II aspect of that. No, we have 0 Division twos in Louisiana. For those people that don't realize that, and then you've got ties to Louisiana. You played junior college ball, and then you went on to Nickel State. So you played at a little major level. Then you stayed around, like you said, and you coached in the high school. Can you talk a little bit about your ties to Louisiana, man? How that kind of, especially at the college level, kind of developed you as a person, really?
Well, definitely, man. Louisiana is a different place, and I love it. I love Louisiana. They have a great culture there, and the people are great. I mean, especially out there, LA1, Nickel State, Thibodaux, Louisiana, man. Love that place. But it coming from Mississippi, I'm originally from Jackson, Mississippi, and I went to East Central Community College in Decatur, Mississippi, where that was in a rural place where you had nothing. It was like the Andy Griffin Show for real, the little road, and then at the end of the road, it was the college, man, and you had to drive like 15, 20 minutes just to get off of Highway 20 just to get to Decatur. And so it was definitely an eye-opening experience where you go from JUCO, you come to Louisiana, then you see the different people, and they accept you for who you are, and they just build you in a different way where it's okay to be you and actually be successful and be happy. Don't change who you are. You don't have to, because you go down there, man, you're gonna hear all type of language. I mean, some people are gonna be talking regular English, then you're gonna get that French and English in the mix. You're gonna get the Cajun mix.
It took me forever to figure out which way was down the body, which way was up the body.
Yeah. And listen, now when you get South Louisiana, you come up here North Louisiana, it's a big difference.
Sure.
It's a big difference. But those ties, man, they got. We had coaches there, man, like my guy Todd Russ, man. When I was at Nickel State, he was a big influence on me. Kobe Baker when he was there. So all those guys did played a big part in me in developing. When I was in Louisiana, man, it was a great time. It was a great time. It's definitely a time that I won't forget and cherish. So I got some ties out there on some AAU people that I know, other coaches out there that I know that look out for us with players and different things. And I start point guard. Not this year before last. She was from Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana, Princess Davis. So she was Louisiana got some players, man. It's very
sure, man.
State.
Sure. So you kind of talked about a little bit with some coaches that had some influence on you, man. Who do you think had the biggest influence on you as a young coach, kind of coming up the ranks, man? Especially, you played the game,
right?
You played D1, now you're at D2. Like, who had some influence on you along the way?
As a player or just as a coach?
As a coach, kind of as a coach impacting you in general.
It impacted me to be a better coach and taught me the game. His name was Michael Lewis, man. He played a huge part into me getting on to the college level for sure. So, I mean, he took me under his wing and was like, showed me the ropes on everything, how to really sit down and recruit, how to really sit down and evaluate a conference, especially when you first get in, who to look at, what teams to look at in the conference, especially when you're at the bottom trying to get to the top. Some of the things that they do, watch everything before you get out there and start thinking, hey, I'm going to get this kid. Those might not be the pieces that you need to be successful in that league. So watching the league, he taught me a lot of stuff in that area. As a coach, period, from a high school, he was my brother, Markeith Brown, the third. He was a big part of me. I'm big on family, man. So, like, a lot of my family members are the ones that really impact me the most. Like my mom, my kids, my wife, and everybody to be better as a coach, because you have that why to make you do what you do and make you grind at it. Because remember, we tell our kids this too. You're not just doing it for yourself. Your last name came from somebody. And so you got to make sure that you represent your family the right way when you do what you do, and you do it and make sure you're doing what you do at the best, the greatest you possibly can. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and we got to remember, God give us a gift, and we don't run with it, he can take it away. So that's one of the things, yeah. So those are my fires. Those two coaches for sure. As a player, man, Jay Bowen was my JUCO head coach. He was awesome. Brad Hodge, all of those them two was my dream college, and I look at Jay and talk to Brad all the time. They basically help you build yourself as a man, especially going to JUCO. They build their father figures, man. So they instilled a lot of good stuff in me. Man, I can name so many people. If I don't name you, I'm sorry, but you know who you are.
No doubt,
Definitely.
man. I think let's touch back on like kind of what you said, man. I see it all the time, especially in Southland. You know, people kind of come into the Southland low major D1, and you know they're trying to do it their own way and everything. And you know, it's kind of certain ways, like you said, that win leagues. And at the end of the day, man, it's a business. You
Right.
only get like 3, maybe 4 years before you're gonna be getting a boot, man. Like that's a great point. Like once you get into a new spot, new league, anything, any new job, like at the end of the day, we're trying to climb the ladder, you know, as coaches. So you climb the ladder. Once you get into a new league, man, you got to really evaluate that league. That's a great point.
Right. Yeah, man. These leagues are tough. The Lone Star Conference is tough,
No doubt.
especially we added these new teams in there, and man, it is tough. These and coaches can coach, and they can recruit. So every year you have to come with it. You have to make sure that you seeing and you watching the movements of the league, and you watching what's going on, the players, making sure that the people that you're recruiting are the best fit for your team. But you got to make sure that what you're doing is different when you bring it into the league. So it's definitely, you got to watch it. You got to make sure that you're on top of stuff, man. Because if you don't, you're going to be in trouble.
No doubt, man. No doubt. I really want to get into the education at the D2 level. You know, me personally, coaching at Division I at Nicholls State, you know, and I learned a lot this year with Coach Payne moving to Division II in Georgia, man. Like, kind of following up with him and trying to figure out what all is going on, man. Like, I really learned a lot. I'm from Louisiana, born and raised, always stayed here. So us not having any D2s, man, like it's tough for us to really understand. Like at the end of the day, you know, when you experience something, you're going to be educated. So me kind of piggybacking off of him, I learned a lot. I think people in Louisiana are so D1 or bust. They don't really realize how close D2 and low major are. Like I was looking at y'all's Twitter, man. Y'all got a commitment from a 2021. Like we got 8 kids committed in the entire state. D1 2021 is like we got a commitment to a D2 at another state. Like it's just people are thinking, well, D2 can put on the back burner, but you guys are already full swing. Y'all are going like y'all are Division I. Y'all are already pulling in kids and everything else. Can you kind of talk a little bit about that?
Sure, man. Our head coach name is Jason Burton, man, and he keep us at a high standard here and with our program. So we definitely get out, we recruit, and we battle with some top Division Ones with players, and we battle all the time. So we on the phone. We always working. We got a great staff. Coach Ty, Coach Gene, Coach Kate. They're working hard with us in the recruiting process. So we always on the phone trying to get kids, especially during this time, man. It's a great time that you can get ahead and jump and be equal on the playing field with Division I schools, some of them mid majors and some of them low Division I schools on players. But we've always been like that, regardless if it's through the crisis, you know, what we got going on right now with the virus or not. We've been like that regardless when we're recruiting players. Those are the caliber players that we get. But the D2, I'm with you on that. The D2 is not really promoted in certain states, especially from Mississippi, man. It was either JUCO or Division I. D2 wasn't pushed at all during my time. So definitely it's a great place with great basketball, great education, great degrees when you live in there, leave there from your school, great help and job opportunities. So it's equal. It's equal. And when you talk about the players that's in the leagues or Division I transfers, JUCO transfers, and it's a tough man. It's tough.
Man, hey, my guy Payne, he's sending me highlights. I'm like, God, we were taking that kid Nicholls in a heartbeat. Like,
no question.
Highlight film.
No question, man. You see the team that we have, you'll be doing the same thing, man. Especially, and even the kids we had last year coming back this year, the kids that we got, the freshmen that we got coming in. Man, we got a great class that's coming in. And yes, the young lady we just got committed to it. She's tough. So we own some kids that's tough too. So I mean, the future is bright for us. But D2, Louisiana needs to know D2 is a great place to be successful. You can have a great career. I mean, I know I watched one of your deals, and one of the guys, I think in NAIA school, he was just saying that, they got a great chance to go to the Hall of Fame. I mean, D2 is the same level. You got a chance to go to the Hall of Fame. You got a chance to get drafted to the WNBA. We actually had a kid, a young lady, Brittany Jordan, they got drafted into the WNBA. We got kids that play overseas. I mean, the professional opportunities here as well, as long as the biggest thing too, though, is that you got a great chance to win the conference championship. You got a great chance to go compete for a national championship. And that's the difference where a lot of young ladies don't understand that in this process. Now, don't get me wrong, Division I is awesome, but you won't have that opportunity all the time when you go to that level. And D2, you would have a great chance to do that if you get to a place where you can really compete in a tough conference and things of that nature. So, yeah, there's definitely an opportunity at this level that you
yeah,
have.
like it's like the overall, I guess, like I don't know why, but like we turn our nose up to it or whatever, and like put it on the back burner, put the D2 on the back burner. Like if D2 comes in, like that needs to, like whoever comes in at the end of the day, they're recruiting you. That needs to be your full focus. Like you are whoever's recruiting you at the end of the day. And I think we got to be better at educating Louisiana in general, man, of the opportunities. Like you said, so the school's the same, the basketball, after basketball, playing professionally is the same. Heck, the facilities, man, like I know Nichols has done a lot of great stuff kind of since you've been there, but at the end of the day, man, y'all's facilities compared to the low major are what if not sometimes even better, so.
Oh, yeah, man, you got a lot of facilities at the D2 is amazing. We got a great facility where we at. But other places in our league got awesome facilities. Other leagues have awesome facilities. You'll be surprised, man. You definitely be surprised when you see it.
So you kind of talked about it mostly, but like, what are some benefits of just Division II, in your opinion, kind of being there for 5+ years? You really talked about it based off of the, kind of level of competing, being able to compete for a national championship. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
Man, the level of D2, the experience you have with the classrooms, the professors, you're more eye to eye with them. They know who you are. Our professors, though, they do a great job of coming to our games and supporting the young ladies that's in their classrooms because they know them on a personal level. And also with that personal connection, those professors can actually go out on an extra limb to help you get that job once you leave there. So that connection is huge. The connection with our administration staff is awesome with our players as well. So like in most, I'm sure Division I, they have, great staffs as well. They has this, but I know at this level, they're more active within the programs, within, each, like football, basketball, soccer, softball, it doesn't matter, softball, whatever sport is in the program, the administration staffs there, they're really, ours is we best in class, man. Our AD does a great job, man. Tim McMurray, he's a big, huge family guy with us, and he's always active within our program. So definitely with that level, you can have that personal connection with big time people that goes beyond just that sports. When we tell our girls this all the time, man, it's not just about basketball. It's your overall life.
Yep.
Everybody's not going to go play professional. What are you going to do after that? And what we do as a great job is we set our kids up to go be successful outside of basketball. So that's a great thing. And D2 has where these young ladies know that, once I leave here, I'm going to be taken care of.
Like you said, it comes back to that family atmosphere.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. You'll be surprised, man. We touch on everything here. We try to build everything on the young lady that we possibly can.
So I guess before all the recruiting process starts really with the kids. We try to ask everyone that comes on, like, especially during the coronavirus and everything, you know, we not playing in May, didn't play in April. We may have team camps, league camps in June. We may or may not play in July, 50-50.
Right.
How can kids get on your radar, Texas A&M Commerce? How do they get on your radar? Can they email you, phone call? They need to be at tournaments. Like, what's your advice on getting on someone's radar?
Well, with us at this time, man, it's definitely email, contacting AU coaches, hitting us up. Of course, every coach have their own connection, what they're calling their connection to get names and different things of that. But I'm telling you, we always answer. We look at. I'm watching film all the time. That's one of the things that I do. Is people think I'm crazy for doing it. Like, if I get an email, I don't care what talent level that she is, I'm gonna at least look at it because I'm gonna take the time. They took the time to email me. I'm gonna check it out. You know, and so definitely emails, calls, they can call for sure. Coaches can call, Twitter account, send me something. I'm going to look at it. IG, if you send me something, I'm going to look at it because I'm always looking at film. I'm always looking at programs and different things like that. But, yeah, any way that they can connect with us, we're going to look at it.
No doubt. So, like, we talked about it with a couple of people. You know, highlight films. What are you looking for on those? Would you prefer? I feel like, you know, highlight films like, hey, how are you doing? It's a handshake, and then you got
right.
game film. Can you kind of talk about, like, hey, what do you want to see on highlight film? How important is game film on the follow up? Can you kind of talk about that?
Game film is always important. Highlight film is nice to like you say, the introduction, to see the talent. If you're going to do a highlight film, some people agree with this, some people don't. Some people like a minute and 15-minute highlight film. I prefer more of a 3-minute to 3.5-minute, 4-minute highlight film just to see the consistency of what you do. You know what I'm saying? Give me a feel of what you do. Because, I mean, 1 minute they can make 3 threes and then they really not a shooter. Yeah, right. So, you know, I like to see that just to get a feel of the consistency of what you do. But it always comes down to watching 1 or 2 full games to see their talent. But a lot of kids, what they don't understand is that great, you can score, you can do this, but what else can you do? You know what I mean? How are you making your team better? If you're not scoring, what are you doing? Are you talking on the floor? Are you communicating? Are you getting somebody else, getting penetration and getting somebody else an open shot, making your teammate better in that aspect? Are you clapping on the bench? Are you jumping up on the bench as your other teammates scoring? Especially when you're watching full film and they come on their side and they're not in the game. I'm going to look at what you're doing on that aspect. So it's a lot of things that our players don't understand that coaches look at and they get a feel for. If I say talent, the talent is a given thing. But if we're talking about other stuff outside of that, are you rebounding the ball? How hard are you running up and down the floor when you don't have the ball? You know, just different stuff like that. Are you talking on the switch? Are you sitting down in your stance? What are you doing on the backside on defense when the ball is away from you? Are you in the help side? Do you know those things? You know, and some of those things that show you the IQ of the player as well. Are you setting the screen when you don't have the ball? Are you really setting the screen, or are you just going to a spot? So we evaluate a lot of different things when we're looking at a player. So players to understand that it is not just about scoring, because when you come to this level, there's going to be a lot of people that can score. That's on your team. You know, it's on your team. It's a lot of people. How can you be of value in different spots than scoring that we look at too?
Yeah, I like that.
100% effort. You give 100% effort, hey, that goes a long way. If you mess up going 100%.
Hey, effort and attitude can make up for a lot. I can promise you that.
And that's free.
No doubt, man.
Yeah.
So, like, moving along, what's some common mistakes you see from prospective student athletes that they make in the recruiting process? You know, like I said, you kind of went through it yourself, and now I hear you on the other side, the coaching side. what's some mistakes you kind of seen along the way?
One of the biggest mistakes I think kids don't see is that we don't just look at basketball. We look at everything about you, because you are a person that's coming into our culture and our family, and we just don't want anything to disrupt that. So we got to make sure that your character piece is a great piece for us, not just your athletic ability. Because I'm telling you right now, we turned down a couple of kids that had great athletic ability, but their character piece was not a good fit for us. So that's a big thing that the kids don't understand. That what are you doing on your social media? Because we're gonna look. We're gonna look at Twitter. We're gonna look at Instagram. We're gonna look at these different things. What's your brand? What are you selling to everybody? And that's a thing that young kids don't really pay attention to right now, is the brand that they selling off to the world on the social media standpoint. That that's not a good brand for our program. A lot of coaches will pass on that, even if you're good, because I'm telling you, it's a lot of kids right now that is good, that is working hard, that's getting better, and they get noticed. And especially while we're doing like this, is the even playing field right now, I think, especially with the virus there. But that piece and that aspect is important that kids don't understand in the recruiting aspect. And just another thing is just like I spoke on earlier, just do different things. Show that you can do different things. Show that you talking on, you screaming, or you doing different things. Show that your effort, running up and down the floor, rebounding, that you can do more than just scoring, and that you're coachable.
Absolutely. I actually saw one of my friends post on Twitter, man. Like, I don't think these kids realize whenever you click something and you like it, it pops up on everyone else's Twitter feed as
Everybody feed. Yeah.
Crazy,
Yeah.
man. You got to be careful. Not only what you're typing, but what you're liking, what you're retweeting. Most importantly, what you like. Because when you click like they changed that a while back. Like, likes come up on everyone's Twitter feed too,
man. Right, man. I done unfollowed a couple kids because of that. Got some stuff on my Twitter feed. I'm like, wow, are you serious? So yeah, man, they don't understand that aspect, that goes a long way. It goes a long way.
And like say that to the level, man, we talked about before. Like, you got a wife, 3 kids you're trying to provide for in your life. Like, before, this is a business at the end of the day. You're trying to bring them into your family. Like, you can't be bringing somebody that's questionable even.
Right. Yeah, man, because look, I got 2 daughters, and one's 12, one's 8, and they in the question mode, and they watch and they observe. And the players that you have, especially if they're good or not good, your kids end up looking up to some of them because they're on the college level and they're playing college ball, and one day they might want to do the same thing. So you got to make sure that you're doing things where when they see you, that you're doing the right things, and they can pattern it up behind you.
No doubt.
Somebody influence somebody. Yep. Everybody, you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah.
So kind of the last question, really. Division II, again, education-wise, man. We talked about before. Y'all already got a 2021 commitment, man. When do y'all start the recruiting process from your end as far as recruiting and evaluating? Like, when do y'all start that process? I'm assuming it's super early, considering y'all already got a 21 commit. How does that go?
Man, it differs. It really differs between the time of what you're doing in certain classes. So, like, we did a good job on this 2020 class that we kind of finished a little bit earlier, so we had time to jump right into 2021s. So when we really out here grinding, we doing what we supposed to do. We get chances to jump on kids early. And so right now, to get that 21 commitment was because of the hard work that our staff has been doing for the other class, that we can jump ahead and start, just calling and building that relationship. And, it's all about building a relationship. And so that young lady felt comfortable with us.
To me, from the outside standpoint, it looks like y'all running exactly like a D1. Like, y'all recruiting exactly the same as Division
I. I missed you. Say it again.
I was saying, like, from my standpoint, from the outside looking in, man, it looks like y'all recruit exactly like a Division I would. Like, you focus on the class. Once you move on, if you got somebody that you can kind of evaluate at a younger age. Like you evaluate them and kind of follow along with them, man. It's like everything is exactly like a Division I, except for you're just Division II.
Right. I'm telling you, man, like I said earlier before, our head coach, man, he keeps us at a high standard, and we try to be best in class in everything that we do. That's just not just our program. That's our whole athletic program, best in class. So definitely, man, we try to do everything at top notch as we possibly can. So we get kids send us stuff. I mean, we getting kids that send us stuff that's 22s. We still put it. We're not looking at it, but we'll put it. We'll look at it, and then we'll put it on the sheet. Okay, these are some kids. When it's time to get to this level, we stacking our list up right here. Okay, boom. We know who to dive into, who to go straight into, and that's all in the recruiting, man. The recruiting process, period. From I'm sure a lot of the programs are doing that, but we work hard over here, man. We try to keep it competitive as possible. Try to keep our program growing and stay at the top as long as we can.
Absolutely, man. Man, I appreciate your time for sure, man. Is there anything else like you'd like to share with us, educate our audience, like I said, about the Division II level in general?
Yeah, man, Texas A&M Commerce is the best place to be. Come on with it. Sign up, man. Come be a lion. Come be a lion, man. Come be a lion.
No doubt, man.
I just appreciate that time. Thank you.
For sure, man. Again, like I tell everyone all the time, man, talent is so valuable, especially in your profession, man. So I appreciate you spending all this time with us. You spoke a lot about Twitter. We're big on social media. Is there anywhere that our audience can kind of follow you on Twitter or your team's Twitter?
Man, yeah, everywhere. If you just type in our name, especially my name, every coach, man, on our staff, Jason Burton, Markeith Brown, Jean Marie, Wilson, Taj Emanuel, especially Kate. I'm not gonna. She's Russian, so like if I mess up her name, she go fight me. But now, like even with that women's basketball, A&M Commerce women's basketball, Lions Athletics, come follow all of us, man. We definitely would love to have you guys follow us and show us love in that aspect, and definitely will follow you guys back and support.
Big time, man. Coach, again, I appreciate you. Nothing but love from us, man. Thank you so much, man, education-wise. Congratulations again on a great season, great couple seasons, man. Looking forward to keeping up with you guys. Everyone that's watching, man, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we look forward to bringing y'all some more college coaches interviews in the future.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Coach, man. You need anything my way, man, let me know.
No doubt. Come on, family.
Thanks, bro.
I do.